worship tonight. All right, let's just praise God tonight, guys. This is all about God. We are here to worship Him and be in His presence and just lift His name up. All right, guys?
Be still. Your peace God chose to lead the Israelites out of captivity. The Israelites were in Egypt, and they were slaves in Egypt. They were slaves, and they were put into bondage, and it wasn't a good life for them. So God called Moses and said, I need you to go talk to Pharaoh, the leader of Egypt, and I need you to set the Israelites free. And when Pharaoh said no, Moses did one thing after another, up to 10 things. There was plagues, there was locusts, there was all sorts of things that God did in order to set the Israelites free. And finally, Pharaoh finally says, yes, they can go. We don't want anything to do with this anymore. Set them free. So the Israelites are free, and they're on the run, and they're moving. And Pharaoh changes his mind. Says, I want them back. So the Israelites are running, and they look behind them, and the Egyptian army is after them. And they come to the edge of the Red Sea, and they look back at Moses and say, why did you even get us out of captivity? It's better to be a slave over there than to die right here, free in the desert. And Moses, he says something pretty awesome. Exodus 14, verse 13 says, Moses answered the people, don't be afraid, stand firm, and you'll see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. The Egyptians you see today will never see, and you will never see again. And 14 is what I love. It says, the Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. You need only to be still. See, so often in life, we fix our focus on the wrong things. We fix our focus on what we need, on what's going bad, on the things that the world has thrown in front of us. And generally, when we focus on our needs, we tend to overemphasize our suffering. And I'm not saying that what we might be going through isn't huge. There are some people in this room that are going through some awful things. But when we focus on the wrong things, it emphasizes the thing we focus on. So if we're focusing on the bad thing, then that thing's going to seem huge. But if we're focusing on God, then that thing seems like it's in the past. That thing seems little. See, our God created the heavens and the earth. Our God counted the hairs on each and every one of our heads before he even knew who we were. He's the Alpha. He's the Omega. He's all-powerful. There's nothing in this world that can stand against him. And for some reason, we're focusing on the problem and how awful the problem is instead of focusing on how big our God is. So here are these Israelites who just witnessed God do all these amazing things. Plagues, locusts, frogs, the river was flowing with blood, all sorts of things. But instead of focusing on what God has done and who he is, they're focused on the problem ahead of them. I think there's some people in this room, maybe you went to camp, and God set you free from something. God set you free from something. There was something under your tent that was keeping you from victory, that was a secret in your life that you shared with somebody, and now it doesn't hold you anymore at camp. There's some people, maybe you didn't go to camp, but God still did an amazing thing, whether it was at a conference, whether it was at a service here on a weekend or on a Wednesday, maybe it was just at home with your family. God set you free from something. And now we're here. We're not at this camp high. We're not at this conference high. But we're right here back in the valley, looking at this Red Sea, saying, God, what do I do now? This captivity that you just freed me from is approaching fast. I don't want to go back to where I was. And God says, be still. Be still and know that he is God. Fix your eyes on him and make room for him to make room for you. So tonight we're going to do something really intentional. I'm going to ask the worship team to go ahead and dismount, get off the stage, except for Gabriel, because we need pads just to fill some space. And we're going to pray. We're going to pray with each other. We're going to pray for each other. We're going to pray for ourselves. And We're going to make room for what God wants to do tonight. Amen? We're going to make room for what God wants to do tonight. It says in Matthew 7, ask and you shall receive. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open for you. So today, I'm going to ask everyone to go ahead and close your eyes. I'm just going to start this very deliberately. And put your hands out like you're about to catch something. I just want us to just pray for God to invite His Spirit into your heart right now. Invite His Spirit to empower you and invite Him to do what He wants to do tonight. God, we invite you into this place. We open the doors of our hearts. We open the doors of our minds, God. Do what you will in this place. We thank you so much that you are already planting seeds in the hearts of people. So God, we just thank you that you are here. We know miracles can happen now that you are here, God. Still our hearts, whatever might be going on the outside, God. Still our hearts. Let us be deliberate and focus in on the thing that truly matters, and that's you, God. That's you. So I'm going to ask all of you, maybe there's something that's distracting you tonight. Maybe it's hard for you to get into worship because there's something that was going on at home. Maybe there's something going on with some of your friends or some of your family. Maybe there's something health-wise that's happening, but it's distracting you and you're focusing your eyes on that. I'm going to go ahead and ask you if you can put your hand up. And we're going to have people gather around you. And we're gonna pray together. So if you see someone with their hand up, I just want to encourage you, gather around them. We don't want anyone to stand alone, and we want to invite everyone. We're going to be praying together as a ministry together. And I want to invite everyone, go ahead and raise your own voice. Raise your own voice in prayer. And let's just fill this place, let's just flood it with the praise of God and prayers. God, we just pray for every distraction to go away right now, God. We thank you that you are here and we focus our eyes on you, God. We focus on what you want to do in our lives, God. That there are things that they look big on the outside, God, but we focus on you because you are bigger. You are bigger than anything this world can throw at us, God. You are bigger than any health infirmity, God. You are bigger than any addiction. You are bigger than any mental affliction, God. You are bigger, God. So we just focus our eyes on you. We fix our attention towards you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Yes, God. Jesus. Yes, Jesus. God, we pray for all distractions to fade away. All distractions to fade away. Let us tonight be in the moment. Be in this moment, God. We could be here physically, God, but sometimes we're not here mentally. Sometimes we're not here in the spirit, God. We're only here as our flesh. So tonight, we're here, God. We are here with you, God. We're caught up in your presence right now. God, help us experience you because you are here too. Just thank you so much, God. Thank you, Jesus. Next group of people I want to pray with. And they're still praying over here. But maybe you're in this room and there's healing that needs to happen. Whether that's a physical healing, maybe I know at camp we were talking about people who were blind or people who had joints that were hurting. Maybe you need healing mentally. Maybe there's someone in this room that you struggle with depression or you struggle with anger. I want to invite you, go ahead and lift your hand up. And if you can, I want to ask all those people, maybe come to the center right here, right over here. So that way we can all gather around. We just want to gather together as one church or one body around anyone that's struggling with any of these sort of healing. And if you can, just gather around. We just want to keep lifting our voices up with them together in prayer because we know prayer changes things. Prayer changes lives. And we know that the enemy does not have the last word. God has the last last word in this, God. So right now, we just declare healing over every person up here, whether that's physical, whether that's mental, God. We know that you are bigger, God. We know that there are people in here that are struggling. Maybe it's their families that have heart issues, God. We just pray right now for that to go away, God. You, for a strong heart in them, God, so that they can live as long as you have called them to live, God. God, right now we pray for any mental disabilities, God. We know depression has a hold on a lot of people, maybe even in this room, God. We just pray for joy to flow through their bones, God, to flow through their hearts, God. God, we declare anxiety to fade away. We declare depression away, God. We declare anger to go away, God. We thank you, Jesus. Yes, God. God, you are the healer of our bodies. You are the healer of our souls. And you sent your Son on the cross, so that even though these bodies may die, God, our spirits can be raised up in you, God. I pray right now for just joy to flood this place. Overwhelming joy. We come against any thoughts of suicide. We come against any thoughts of depression, God. We pray that we choose life. We choose life because you have called us to live life and live life more abundantly, God. So we call out that joy. We call out that life in these students and these people, God. Thank you so much. And the last thing we're going to pray for is this for everybody in your own words. If you can even just pray for yourself, maybe the person on the left and right. We're going to pray for a miracle tonight. We're going to pray for a miracle tonight. Some of us need a miracle. Maybe there's something that's in a healing that we're talking about right here. Maybe it's something that's at home that you need something to happen. But God can do something tonight. If we just make room for him to do it tonight. If we just ask him, he will do it. If we seek for it, he will do it. If we knock on the door, he'll open it for us. So if we just ask him into it and we say, God, we need a miracle. God, we need you to intervene. God, we need you to do something right now in this place. Let's go ahead and lift up our voices. God, we accept what you want to do tonight, God. We accept what you want to do in this place. We declare miracle can happen now that the Spirit of God is in this place, God. Your Spirit is powerful and your Spirit can intervene, God. I don't know every situation that's happening among the people represented here, but you do. So I pray if there's something at home that they can go home and there'll be something different. And it might not be a situation at home that's different, but it might be something in them that's different. There's a miracle that's happening inside of them that gives them the strength to walk this life, the strength to walk through the struggle, the strength to climb over that mountain, God. That can be the miracle that we're looking for, God. Maybe it's still healing, and we declare that healing over these bodies in Jesus' name. We just know that a miracle needs to happen tonight, God. So we make room for you. We make room for you, God. Thank you, Jesus.
Maybe this is